Hi there, this is Mark Clegg, professor of American music at the University of Michigan School of Music, and we just finished the third Einstein performance. So I've done, 12, 13, 14 hours of Einstein in the last 42 or so hours. So it's been an amazing journey, really, to bring my class and the UMS night school group together at this performance, and it's really just a thrill that UMS has made this possible for us. I guess the question we're all left with, at least I'm left with, is what does it all mean? In some ways, it doesn't mean anything, at least by itself. And I think what Wilson and Glass have told us is that we bring our own story to this event. And so what really completes this work is our own viewpoint, our own reaction, our own response to this work, and the way we put the ideas and symbols and emotional journey that we've all been on into action in our day-to-day lives. I think it does mean something. Inspired in part by John Cage, which both Wilson and Glass talked about at the Penny Stamps lecture as a big influence. I think part of what they're after is this fusing of life and art. And so like 4 minutes and 33 seconds, the period of attention that we've all granted to this work is really what it is. It's an experience, it's a process, not only for the performers, but for us as viewers. I think that, like day-to-day life, it's pregnant with meaning, but none of it is obvious. A lot of it is what we infuse it to mean. Certainly in this performance, Einstein is meant to be art with a capital A. So all of the symbols and ideas and the text that's laid forth, the music, the emotional power of the repetition, but the contrast between the frenetic pace of some of the music and also some of the really beautiful lyricism, just this gorgeous, almost love music, kind of nocturne music, a la Chopin, I think, in many ways, is meant to invite us to see it as art and demand that we try to figure something out that means something to us. Certainly for me, I think I'm going to put together a blog post or some kind of essay, really, that responds in more detail to the different symbols, but there is a lot of meaning in the various symbols that are laid out. The train, the boxes, the elevators are certainly a reference to Einstein's experiment, the giant eclipse, which proved the general theory of relativity by the redshift of the stars, the beakers in the chemistry lab, the beams of light is a reference to Einstein, certainly. The beach is there. It's there in the text. It's there in the reference to grains of sand and counting the depth of our love. It's there in the conch shell that's picked up twice during the performance, and this sort of dreamer character puts it to her ear and listens, I think, to ideas, to dreams, and the dreams also are a reference to the bed, that we dream when we sleep, and we dream when we let go of sort of the rigors of the day-to-day, when we relax, we experience something a little different, a different kind of consciousness, a different space, a different time, and certainly this whole opera is wrapped up into that idea. The fact that happens at a trial is really fascinating. Is creativity on trial? Are the ideas of Einstein on trial? Is our ability to dream in the future, to imagine new solutions to the problems we face on trial? Certainly there are a lot of references to problems that the creators faced in the 1960s. I think that the use of African American and Caucasian actors is certainly a reference to the civil rights struggles of the 1960s, to the hope that maybe that's brought together in those two female characters who represented. The main female character is certainly a reference to Patty Hearst, to her trial, her abduction by the Sudanese Liberation Army, and her radicalization and then imprisonment is there in the trial scene. But she comes back at the end, and is she Einstein? Is she Patty Hearst? Is she us? Who is she in the end? And this giant spaceship journey, the nuclear explosion that ends it, is there a kind of moralizing message about the worries of nuclear annihilation, which were certainly a reality in 1976 when the piece was put together, and the Cold War and the real fear over Russia and communism. In many ways, we've diffused that to a certain extent, but we have Iran and other worries today that make this all real for us. So I'm certainly going to be processing this for a long time, but just thanks to these performers, thanks to Robert Wilson and Philip Glass and all of these amazing musicians, Lucinda Childs, the dancer, and the many actors who contributed, Christopher Knowles and others who really made this experience possible for all of us. And thanks to UMS for bringing it to Ann Arbor. All right, see you online.